Welcome to Run TV, the Cancer Show. For the first time in a long time, Atlanta hip hop is ice cold, bro. There's nobody new. What I mean is, there's nobody new that's about to take the torch, that the torch is being passed on to. There's nobody. Lil Baby's ice cold. Thug is ice cold. They're saying Cardi is hot right now, but Cardi's been out. So he's not a new act. Usually they have somebody lined up. They have 3-4 people lined up that you know, okay, after this guy's this guy, then it's this guy, then it's this guy. Future is just where Future is at. They don't have nobody new that's like, yo, this is the next guy. Everybody's just like, bruh, this is the one. Like, he about to, I feel like Gunna would have been in that spot right now. But everything that happened, Atlanta can't really embrace him or mess with him as far as hip hop goes. I feel like people underestimated or undervalue Gunna. I think that's what all this is like revealing. People undervalue and underestimated Gunna. They said Gunna was even writing and helping Lil Baby make music. You could tell Young Thug, after a certain amount of time in the game, he was feeding off of Gunna. Like, Gunna was actually like, they undervalue him. And I think everything that's going on right now with Atlanta has to do with the fact that Gunna is not really involved. He's been isolated from the scene. So I feel like because of that, it's affecting ATL as far as hip hop. Because the music, imagine the music Gunna is making now, right? But everybody in ATL was messing with him and it was being pushed. Him and Thug were cool. Thug came out, I'm pretty sure, just feeding off of Gunna's energy. He would have dropped a couple singles already, bro. But because that relationship is not there, Thug is like kind of removed. And Gunna is still doing what Gunna is doing, but people can't really embrace it or mess with it in Atlanta. So it's like, and Cardi makes the music Cardi makes, but it's hard for everybody in Atlanta to embrace it because Cardi has like more of a dark underground sound that's not really like strip club oriented. It's not like Cardi's stuff is like masking like mystery, where it's like he's on a different side of things. And I feel like that's affecting everything dealing with Atlanta, where it's like now there's a hiccup in their step, and that hasn't happened in a long time. And I feel like for them to maintain the chokehold that they've had on hip hop, they would have to do something because there's an opening. And once there's an opening, a place like Florida or Texas or wherever else, they could get like a run. They could get their foot in and get like a run. And sometimes momentum, or Chicago, sometimes momentum means everything. Once you get that one artist that gets to a certain level and they go on that run and they form a certain place, and then a bunch of domino effects happen where a bunch of other artists come behind that artist, no Diddy. It becomes like a thing where it's like now the place where they had the torch are gonna be playing catch up. And all this stuff is momentum based, where it's just like once the momentum shift, it becomes a thing. It could be New Orleans too, because New Orleans, they have artists. And Youngboy is out, but Youngboy doesn't really make outside music. He makes more like slide music, where it's like there's enough of that. There's so many. I'm not saying Youngboy is at, of course he's at like the pinnacle of that, but I'm just saying right now the majority, it's always like this, but right now the majority of hip hop music that's coming out is slide music. It's not really outside music, which is why I was saying Drake is missed and he's needed because they didn't close the gap of outside music. Outside music is different than slide music. There's enough slide music, man. Everybody's making slide music, bro. People aren't really making outside music. And it's summer. And because there's not enough people making outside music, there's too many people making slide music. When you go outside, all people are doing is sliding, bro. You see what I'm saying? Even when you go outside, you think you outside, you want to hear some outside music. The outside music everybody's playing is slide music. Even the R&B guys, they're making slide music. Everybody's making slide music. Now, there's slide aspect to outside music, but there's a difference between outside music and slide music. There's not enough slide music out. I mean, I'm tripping. There's not enough outside music out. There's way too much slide music. To the point where it's just like, even all these joints, like all these girls, all they're listening to is like slide music. They'll go outside to have a good time, and they're playing slide music. And it's like, bro, like, and it's almost like normalized now, where it's just like, bro, like, these joints are trying to have fun, like twerking all that, like bring the clappers out. But they're doing it all to to slide music. And it's like, bro, like, it's a tense atmosphere. It's like you know what I'm saying? Everybody's on edge, and it's just like, the music is just like emphasizing it. And it's just like, bro, like, there's not enough outside music. So it's no surprise that when people are outside, it's going to be a whole bunch of sliding going on. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a whole bunch of sliding going on. Like, so that's what I was saying, how like Drake is missed. Not because Drake is this guy that's like, it's just because there's nobody in that occupying that space. You know what I'm saying? And then once you have an artist of that magnitude in that space, the influence of that makes other people want to make that type of music as well, outside music, where it's just like, all right, cool, like, that's lit too. Like, Kendrick makes what Kendrick makes, but he makes a different type of music. He makes, like, you want to have a girl type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, he makes girl music, as far as like, he makes relationship music. Like, Kendrick make relationship music, or you going through it with your girl, like, or you driving around with your girl. That's the type of music Kendrick makes, like relationship music. Even if you're going through with your girl, he makes relationship music. Drake makes outside music. And then, for the most part, majority of these guys, they make slide music. Now, Future is special because Future, he makes something that is like in between outside music and slide music. He found like a pocket where he fits over there. So you could be outside and listening to Future where it doesn't feel like too much of slide music. And you could be sliding and listening to Future where it doesn't feel like too much of outside music. You know what I'm saying? But then once you remove Drake from the picture, Kendrick cannot make outside music, bro. That's not his bag. Like, now there's nobody there occupying that space as far as like mega artists that's making outside music. So now all you're gonna have is relationship music and slide music. So until that gap is closed and fixed, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be Drake. It could be a whole bunch of mid, as far as the level they are at, not the songs they make. I'm not saying the songs they're making should be mid, but the level they're at is mid. If there's a whole bunch of them just to cover that gap of outside music, it would be cool. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was a couple girls, like the city girls and girls who had that vibe. They were kind of making outside music for girls, but men can't really listen to that stuff, bro. Like, men don't really listen to that stuff. So it's like, girls kind of went through a phase where they had outside music, and like, there was a lot of these joints that they were outside, bro. But even that, it became slide music. You know what I'm saying? It became slide music. But the thing with women is like, they got to a point where it was kind of balanced, where they had relationship music, they had outside music, and they have like slide music and stuff. Now they have slide music and outside music. The thing with women now, they don't really have relationship music though. So that's the thing with women now. There's no relationship music really. it's outside music and slide music with women. And then with men, it's just with Kendrick out now and Drake gone, it's like relationship music with men and slide music. And then with women is outside music and slide music. So for the most part, everything is just based on what? Slide music. That's the majority. So it's just a reflection of everything that's going on. So that's how it looks outside. It's just slide, 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 bro. That's what everybody's doing, bro.